You have an animal back there? I thought I saw something moving around.
I have a furry demon behind me, like a little
What you
kaiba,
got?
a little kaiba kun. Come here, kaiba.
Give the people what they want.
Come here, kaiba. She ain't really having it today.
Did I have?
Not
Okay,
not
okay.
particularly. Like she just yawned at me.
Well, this summer anime 2019 season is nothing to yawn at, Kai Kai.
Yeah, you need to step your game up, Kai Kai. The anime is hot this time.
The anime is a little bit hot. So basically, welcome to you who have come to Animeism. We're doing our 15th reboot.
Yeah.
So here we go. Lucky number 15. Let's do it. I'm the captain, Alex. It's AGW, Ant Man, aka Ant.
Out here.
He's here. Um, Enough about us though. Let's delve in because there's actually a lot to talk about with Summer Anime 19.
Yeah.
I have been pretty disappointed personally in the last couple seasons. There's been like the main ones that I watch, the JoJo's, the One Pieces, that kind of thing, but not none of the like real seasonal shows have really some of them, but not too many to write home about, especially
Yeah.
last season.
I feel like they're
Last season was
struggling.
rough. But this season, there's some good ones that everyone knows about, like Doctor Stone and Fire Force. But then there's also a lot of secretly good ones that we'll get into. But let's just roll down any chart, and I'm going to try to talk about pretty much most of them, but we'll probably only have like a real live discussion on the ones that are worth having real live discussion on. But
Yeah.
I'll vaguely go over some of the other ones just to, if you have interest in these, you can go on your own and watch them on Crunchyroll or Funimation or Amazon or whatever you kids watch things on these days
That's
for
right.
subs. So let's start with Dr. Stone because that's the first one on the list, and that sounds easy to me. Now, this is one that we both watched.
Yeah.
Do you have any immediate thoughts, immediate impressions on Dr. Stone?
The setup is super cool. I haven't really seen like a starting the world over from an animation standpoint thing. So it's like really relevant for like American drama. So I thought that was pretty lit actually.
Also, I think we should add in. I ran out of capacity for new names just in real life about 12 years ago. So I might be able to remember some people's names. It's really a struggle for me to remember 30 shows worth of Japanese names. So I'm gonna do my best. But there's gonna be a lot of like dude with the eye patch kind of descriptions coming from this cam over here. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna gambate. Like I'm gonna do my best, but it's not a source of pride for me. Remembering all of the Japanese names in the anime shows. So
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna pretend
um,
like I'm good at that. Unless I
no,
just
so
watched it and then maybe I can get one.
nope.
But
I
just
I could be in the middle of watching it, and I you'd be like, "What's that guy's name?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. I can't tell you."
damn.
Now we've got Annie chart in front of us, so I can see that the it was Senku. Senku was the guy. He's the Doctor Stone. He's the madman. So basically, the story was that there was like a group of high school students that were hanging out, and then one day, just out of nowhere, everything turns to stone. And as far as we can tell, it was like it it appeared to be just humans, but then there were also like birds and things that turned into stone. So I'm not exactly what sure what the rules are.
But not insects.
Did you watch both episodes or just the first one?
One episode in.
Okay, so and there's going to be like minor spoilers in this video, but we're only one or two episodes into these shows anyway,
Yeah.
so it's not going to be anything big. Um, so everything turns into stone, and basically this like high school genius Senku is one of the first people to like thaw out of the stone situation, but I think it's 3,700 years later. So
Yeah.
basically, at this point, like the Earth is just restarted. Like we're back to square one, back to the Stone Age. And as far as we can tell, there are no other humans that have managed to thaw their way out of this situation yet. So you've got a second main character, Oki Taiju, who was going to confess to Yuzu Iha.
Nice, dude. Just
I'm reading. This is called Alex Reed's Handy Chart. Um, And so he was going to confess his love to her, but then they all got thawed into stone, like right when he was about to do it. It looked like he was going to choke and fail anyway. So maybe for the best, give him a quick 3.7K years to really think about it and get the right words. Um,
Yeah.
so it's
Long
pretty. I know
relationship.
they got like a brains in the brawn thing going on. Like he, the smart guy is coming up. He basically has like an engineer's mind, so he can do like, and a chemist mind, so he understands how to make things that civilization needs. And the brawn, we got the brawn who can go out and collect things and whatever, what have you.
Yeah, he's a
So that's
gatherer.
cool. I mean, it's really fun. I'm a sucker for the adventure ones. I'm not a huge horror person. I don't do recreational sadness. I'm usually more into the like exciting, like world building ones. So I'm really excited about this. And episode 2, they got a third dude in the crew that they thought out who's like a man beast. He like they thought him out and immediately like while they were getting attacked by lions, they thought this dude out who's like I think one of them called him like the ultimate high school man beast dude or something like that. And like as the cement is coming off him, he's just like, "What's the situation?" And the smart guy's like, "There's lions," and he's like, "Okay." And as soon as he breaks out, he just murders the lion with his bare hands. So now they've got like the warrior mixed with the brawn mixed with the smarts. But I just wanted to let you know that if I found myself in the situation and I thawed first, that I would unthaw you second.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. I would find you. I mean, I know
yep.
for a fact that if there was a way to survive something ridiculous as getting like just turned into stone but alive, and seeing the determination of certain characters being able to stay. All right, first let's just discuss how they managed to not get torn up or like cracked in half,
A
even though
lot of
you're
people got
inanimate.
cracked. A
Yeah,
lot of people got cracked. And I
if
guess those ones didn't survive because Senku said in the second episode that he basically at the end of the first episode they figure out how to unthaw people with by like making alcohol out of like grapes.
yeah,
And so he said he poured it on one of the people who cracked and that they woke up as a corpse. They were out. They were
damn,
up out the paint. So um so you can't like push their stone pieces back together and unthaw them. They're out of here. So you can't break them.
hmm. Yeah, that was pretty dangerous because like I don't know how I'm saving myself or how you're saving yourself, which I believe we would, but how in the world do you keep yourself alive in that? Anyways, I thought that was cool because they demonstrated the determination inside the characters there. They're just like,
Yeah, and it was like the ones who thought out first were the ones with the most want to.
yeah,
So I did enjoy that in anime fashion. Um, I was also thinking like, man, like you're playing a dangerous game with like your family members, right? Like let's I'll just say it with your female family members because if you don't unthaw them really fast, they might crack, right? Something
yeah,
bad might happen.
yeah,
If you do unthaw them first, we might have to repopulate the earth. And I'm not throwing my mom and my sister into the repopulating the earth group of women. You guys stay away from them.
yeah.
So I'm gonna just find their stone corpses and keep them in a nice room until we got like 1,000 like other repopulating.
Yeah, until this
Uh,
isn't a problem anymore.
yeah, yeah. I'm not signing Shelly and Sadie up for the repopulation of the Earth group.
Oh man, they really covering that topic a lot in different sci-fi's and shit like that lately. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely, you can't have them. They're good.
can't do it. So I think that one and Fire Force are probably like the two that I've seen the most ads for and the most talk about.
Yeah,
Granted, they're also on both on Crunchyroll, so I feel like I just see more Crunchyroll than a lot of other sites in that regard.
true.
Um, Before I move on to Fire Force, did you have any other major thoughts on Doctor Stone?
I'm really hopeful. It's like I think it's like my number 2 or my number 3 for the season. Um, it the jury's still out, because I need to get my second and third episodes in for pretty much everything to get a true, honest opinion. So
Yeah, the 3 episode rule. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hold my tongue there for a little bit. But I mean, overall, everything's really nice quality, man. Like these studios are really serving us up right now, and it's seemingly everywhere. It's not just Crunchyroll this time. It's
No,
basically
most of the good
everywhere.
ones are not on Crunchyroll, which is an issue for me because
Yeah.
Funimation hurts my heart to watch sometimes because their platform is not amazing.
I actually couldn't watch it. I tried to turn it on yesterday on Roku, and their
You couldn't get the subtitles.
subtitles wouldn't show up. It said English. I would click English, and then it was just empty. Like, I'm sorry, I only took one course of Japanese. This isn't fair.
Hajime mashite.
Yeah, that's it.
Watashi wa Arekusu-kun. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I only know how to introduce myself as a 16-year-old.
yeah, Johnny. Like, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. So that one's really good, and I don't want to focus on it too much because I feel like a lot of people have seen that one.
Right.
Watch it.
Yeah.
And same with Fire Force, but Fire Force is pretty rad so far. Now I will say that it's very similar as far as what I can tell to a couple other things. Blue Exorcist came to mind a lot because there's this one was there in year 198 of the Solar Era, which I liked. I like the
Solar Era. Thank you. I'll take it.
Yep. And they're in the Special Fire Brigade, and they are fighting against basically at this point in the Earth, people just spontaneously combust into fire, like into flames, and they become like demons. I think they call them infernals, and it could happen at any point. Like I was also laughing really hard because they kept calling the first infernal, they just kept referring to her as the wife of the like manager of the warehouse or something. And then even when they went to save her, they don't save them, they put them to rest, which is murdering them because they're out of control infernal fire demons.
Yeah.
But they were just like they were doing like their little like put your hands in team powwow thing, and they were like, all right, let's do this for the wife of the manager of the warehouse. And like she never got a name, but that was her name.
Damn. As a voice actor, her name inside of IMDb is extra long and annoying.
It is the wife of the manager of the warehouse. So, but it's pretty cool. Like the main character is this guy who's a third generation. I guess the way that it is I'm not too sure on what a first generation is, but if you're a second generation fighter, you're like you kind of have like the powers and abilities.
Yeah, I was picking up on the tier.
Yeah, he's a third generation, which means he's got the fire feet and some other cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, but basically his backstory was that like he's known as the devil, kind of like Blue Exorcist, because when he was a kid, I think he's being blamed for starting a fire and murdering his family.
Yes.
We're not exactly sure what happened there, but that appears to be what happened. But they call him the Devil's Footprint, which is a pretty rad nickname.
Because he like runs on fire or something. Like he's cool, dude.
He's really cool. I am worried because in episode 2 they started talking about how pretty soon the rookies
girlfriend's back.
Girlfriend's back.
That means Kai's excited.
Right. They started talking about how the rookies were gonna have some sort of like, I don't know. It's like something that's in every anime, and I was just disappointed because they were like, yeah, all the rookies of the different teams are going to compete in a contest in a stadium. And I was just like, oh, like every anime, like My Hero Academia, like Naruto, like Type Zero, like all the good ones that everyone knows. And like, so it's just like, that's kind of whack because, like they were doing something really unique, and now it's going to turn into the Chunin exam. So,
because the Chunin exams were too successful for anime at large, so every anime is just like, let's just go ahead and make sure we have a Chunin exam.
You got to have a tournament arc, but they're just gonna they're just like they're gonna use it to introduce all the characters, as far as I could tell, of all the rookies or whatever. So
yeah.
What'd you think of Fire Force?
Exactly what you said. You took all the words out of my mouth. That thing is super. The animation that they opened with, the fire effects, because I'm always focused on the art,
Yeah, you're more art heavy than I am.
Yeah, I was sitting there making our labels right now, trying to give you a nice little Alex down there to make you feel a little bit more official. Me too. But I was just also considering the visuals inside that anime while I was doing it, dude. They were so nice. The sound effects, the actual realistic fire sounds that I was getting. Always got my anime up on the loudspeakers. So
Yeah, I did. I was watching that over at my dad's place the other day actually, and he's got a better speaker setup than I do, and I could definitely tell that that one had some good sound going on.
yeah, they're doing a good job. So I don't know. I'm just really excited. I think the what was the me and Chris watched that one together. I saved the best ones for her and I. So like sometimes I'm gonna be lagging behind you because maybe we haven't cracked them open yet, and I don't want to just be out here carrying something so super dope that I know that she really really wants to watch and she just doesn't know it yet. So that's what JoJo's Bizarre was like. That whole Golden Wind thing was just trash up until the end, and then now she's back into it. So
And now we get to wait 3 more weeks or whatever for the
yeah,
last 2 episodes, but should be good though.
shit. By then I'll probably be fully caught up. I'm still like 3 episodes back. I'll take my time. But yeah, fire's hot, literally, figuratively.
Yeah. In conclusion, fire is hot. Um, uh, as far as is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon too? Look, I watched the first season of this, and I understand that it's very popular. It is an awful show. I don't understand what's going on. It's extremely popular. It's got a really high ranking. I get that it's got a bunch of attractive women in it. I don't know if you guys know, but porn is free on the internet. You don't have to watch it in the form of is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon too? You can just go to Pornhub or RedTube and you can search for whatever you want. Or you could literally Google it. You can Google what you want and it's there. But if you prefer to get it in the form of is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon too? I like look, I watched the whole first season like a few years ago when it came out.
Yeah, I avoided it.
Because I knew it was popular, but I don't get anything out of it. I did watch the first episode just because it's like one of those ones where I feel inclined to watch it because it's so popular, but I think I watched it on like 2x speed and just moved on with my life. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to keep going with that one, but I know it's popular and it's on the list, so I just wanted to mention it. I
Yeah.
feel like you have not seen that one.
No, yeah. No real interest in it. Just I think the title probably deterred me a little bit. Didn't really care. Like I understood the comedy in it though. I was just like, all right, we're being kind of humorous, but I don't know what it's about.
There's a lot of funny titles with question marks in them this season. It usually means I think that it's it used to mean that it was a light novel, but now there's a lot of manga like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna move on from that one because, like, it's not my thing, but apparently it is everyone's thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like Boruto. It's like I don't know who's watching this, but apparently it's popular because it's near the top on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Who's actually watching Boruto?
Well, me, out of fear that I'll miss something, but they're literally on episode 114, and I don't think they've gotten to the initial plot yet. I'm pretty sure it's been 114 episodes of filler. The last episode, it was about them collecting trading cards of the people in the village. They're like opening and they're like, I got a Kakashi card, and then like that was the plot, was like, we got these cards. They didn't even play the game. I was like, oh, maybe they've like come up with a cool like trading card game. Nope. It was just about like should Rock Lee or Shino get the next card. They had a contest.
Wow, dude. And I'm
bad.
sure they're selling cards now. So.
Yep.
Oh no! Don't do this to us.
don't do this to us.
You have to give value. Don't just merchandise. Like do cool things with this merchandise. Don't do that.
You can sell me cool things, but make something cool, and then I'll buy the cool things.
I promise. I'll go broke buying your cool shit.
I have, yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I am broke, yeah. Buying your things.
Oh man.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Just
$30.
good value, you know.
$30.
You better put it on camera. That's
stuff. I got stuff, you know.
Yeah, well you can only accessorize so much.
I'm broke because of this stuff. All right. So anyway, let's just move on. Vinland Saga, that one's on Amazon, and they pumped out like 3 episodes right out the gate, and then I don't think episode 4 is coming for 2 more weeks, but that was pretty good. I mean, it's not really my era. You watched that one, right? You watched like 2 of them.
Yeah, I went ahead and did the two. One didn't make sense. I was gonna have a
No,
really negative review after one, I think.
no, it got better, and actually,
Yeah,
the third one I think was better than even 2 that I saw. So
yeah.
what are your impressions of it?
Just like the fire one, they made sure to give me amazing action to begin with to guarantee that they're capable of it.
Yeah, they show you the quality of the animation in like the first 3 minutes, and then they go into like the story.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's a kid and or whatever. I remember seeing like a really nice age progression sequence for the blonde character in there that just had a really good impression on me because it was just like, man, each of those designs were very distinct but perfectly that character, and it was like 1 second. They spent no time. It was like I was like, damn, I saw all 3 of them. That was like 30 years in an instant. I thought that was like, uh,
I the thing with me with it is, so basically it's a story about Vikings, like, and there's some real Vikings in it. Leif Erikson was in it, famed Viking. So I was kind of confused because one of the characters named Thor's, and then his son is named Thorfinn. I
Thorfinn.
was like, so are either of them Thor, or it's Thor's and Thor? I don't know. But so basically, Thor's the dad was like a famous warrior, like Viking from Norway, and then he faked his own death in battle and bailed with Leif Erikson and a few other people and went to Greenland. I think it was Greenland, and then they're just like chilling in Greenland, like just trying to stay out of the fights. But
Yeah,
then the
super
fight,
peaceful.
but then the fight came to them. So now they're gonna have to travel out to see. But like there's it's so if you like Vikings, and you like that sort of era, I'd say this one's a pretty good one. It had really good animation, and it's on Amazon, and I think that's because it's a little more accessible to like your average American, just as far as the plot. It's a little bit less Japanese
Yeah,
than the other ones.
it was really worldly actually because they brought up individual countries and like each of the characters looked like they were from where they said like you could tell that the bad guy was obviously of Asian descent and their protagonists are obviously just all Vikings and stuff. They mentioned like being against Christianity and stuff. Like it's a whole thing, you know.
Yep,
So
always up for that. Always down to blame the Christians for something.
they really have it out for them, dude. They're like, we gotta go get those Christians, man. I don't.
Yep, I've already. Yeah, that's the best part about still playing Pokemon Go is just that we just overrun the churches constantly, where all the raids are. We just raid churches all
Just
day,
raid churches.
pretty much. Um, so the next one on the list you didn't see, but it was one that I told you that you should see though.
This?
It's Ari Fureta from
Yeah.
Commonplace to World's Strongest.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, I mean, it was like super violent. The dude got his arm ripped off, and then he
Oh.
had to start. Oh, okay, let me start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's back this up. So,
Spoiler.
Naruto Hajime gets just fucked to the bottom of a dungeon. Like he's like, I think they're basically they get pulled into some fantasy war. I don't even know if it's an isekai. I don't know if it was like they came from another world or what. But basically, there's this guy who is he's not like the strongest magic user. He's in a class of people, and they all have to go into a dungeon, and the girl doesn't want him to go because he's not strong enough. And he's like, "Well, you'll protect me, right?" And she's like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And so, of course, immediately he gets into trouble, and then someone backstabs him. Like they're all supposed to like help him, and like we're not sure who didn't help him, but like someone in the chain of helpers didn't help properly on purpose. So he like falls to the bottom of a dungeon, where like in the bottom of the dungeon is like where the strongest beasts are. So it's kind of weird because he has to work his way back up, and he's starting at the bottom.
Against the
Like,
strongest?
yeah, so he's like basically he's got to take on like the head bad guy first. Like
Holy shit.
he's fallen all the way down. There's like an explosion, and he's fallen all the way down like 30 levels into this dungeon. And so he's super weak, and he just wakes up surrounded by like beasts that he's not ready to fight at all.
Wow,
And this
okay.
crazy bear demon thing comes after him until it gets ripped apart by another bigger bear demon thing, and then that bigger bear demon thing rips his arm off.
Excellent
And
anime fashion.
he's pretty much about to die, but then he just loses his mind and starts like murdering and eating the demons. Like he like murders one of the animals and eats it, and when he eats it, he gains experience points and power, and like he's just slowly but surely murdering things and eating like their gross dead bodies to gain skills. And every time he eats like a new beast, it like completely destroys his stomach, and he feels awful. But then like he can physically see like that he like went up 8 points in attack or whatever.
Okay.
So, like so he's just dying and crawling around with one arm.
What the
Just
fuck?
it was pretty good. I don't know. I don't remember what it was on, to be honest with you. It's not on Crunchyroll. It might be a Funimation guy, but I'm not sure.
Oh man.
That one was pretty good though.
All right,
Uh,
yeah, you summarized that one well. So, like, I didn't really watch the trailer that I just played to the side, but I would have to say that that's on my top list of things that I haven't watched thus far.
when he loses his mind, his hair goes from black to white, making him a hotter guy,
Okay.
and so that also symbolizes his new powers and new hotness. At one point, he like made bullets in a gun, but it was like in a cool way, not just like I know kung fu. It was
Yeah.
like it was he actually there was like a thought process that went behind it that escapes me at the moment. Did you get a chance to watch the dumbbells one? The how heavy are the dumbbells that you lift?
Yeah, I watched two of those episodes. I think. I think. No, you know what? I downloaded two. I have one. I watched one.
You streamed it legally, yes.
That's what I
Um,
said, isn't it?
yeah, that's what you said.
Don't correct me if I
So
said it then.
what do you think of that one?
um,
I
yo,
mean, you
like,
know how to work out. It's nothing new, but it's just you
I
know
mean, I don't know. I feel like this is the classic the sport anime that is like fundamentally sound to the core, so you can't particularly really be mad at it no matter what because they're being educational, probably encouraging more people to get out and work out, and they already captured all of the tropes inside the couple of characters that they've introduced. So I understand the dynamics of her like being overweight, not having good eating habits, but wanting to look better despite all of that and not even focusing on that part, just being willing to go.
she's not overweight. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This was the main thing that struck with me is like
Yeah.
maybe in some like bizarre Japanese standard she is overweight, but they were like, oh, you're a 35% body fat, and I was like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
She's like still pretty skinny. Like she's like
Oh yeah.
pretty.
Let's be clear that they lied to her about her being overweight. She's a little thick to by anime character standards, and it's great, but unfortunately we're in that world, so
She's not overweight, but she
no.
wants to be in better shape. Yeah.
So is she gonna be ripped by the end? Is that like are we heading
Love
towards like
Machio. I
like
love I love Naruto Machio, the muscle bro. He calls himself Muscle Bro, and he's like, "Welcome to Muscle Bro's Muscle Corner," and he's teaching him how to do stuff.
oh my
I love
gosh.
that guy, and I'm hoping that Machio is a reference to Ralph Macchio, who is the actor from The Karate Kid. So I think that might be what that's from, but I'm not really sure.
I would believe that.
Um, but I love Muscle Bro. I think in the first episode they taught her how to do the bench press and squats,
Yeah.
and then in the second one they were talking about planks and lat pull downs. Now and it's
My
like you said,
favorites.
a really strong core is what they're going for. Um, but
Yeah.
this I'm not even lying. No, I do go to the gym. Not like I'm not like buff, but I go like pretty regularly just to, do like cardio or whatever.
Yeah, more
This
than me.
got me to the gym twice, 2 for 2. Like literally, the first episode, I paused it like three-fourths of the way through and was like, well, I'm gonna go to the gym and do the bench press and squats now. And I think I was telling you, I usually stay out of the grown man section of the gym. Like, if, for anyone who's been to the gym, like you walk in and there's like a cardio area, and there's like a pool and locker rooms, and there's a bunch of machines that myself and the other elderly use.
uh,
And then there's like the grown man area with like the actual free weights and like the bench press and the stuff where you like need to know the form and maybe even have like a buddy, and like the protein shake area of the gym. I usually avoid that because I'm just terrified, and I usually use like a chest press machine. But like you really don't develop the muscles as well if you don't just get in there and do the machines are not as effective as the free weights and the other things. The free weights, you have to maintain the form properly,
right.
and it makes you contract other muscles and things like that. But like this is like, it helps your posture too to do that kind of stuff. This was like really informative, and it's stuff that most people know, I guess, inherently,
Yeah.
but not really, because
Yeah. No.
they were really focused on the form. Like it's honestly like, if anyone's ever gone online and just like watched YouTube videos of like fitness people, like it was that wrapped in a plot.
Yeah,
And
with funny characters and good voice acting and all of that shit mixed in. It's basically pretty solid.
at the end they recap what they did too. So like after the credits, they're like, they actually do it with you. Like the end of the second episode, they were like, let's do that 30-second plank we were talking about.
Damn.
There's actually like a timer. It counts down from 30 seconds. So
I
you
didn't
can,
see that.
yeah, so you can do it with the video.
That's
And this
perfect.
thing has me bench pressing and doing planks
Yeah.
and squats
I
and
mean,
lat
also
pulls.
she starts at the bottom, like the true bottom of weightlifting. So almost, well, basically nobody can feel self-conscious starting. It's like it's almost basically about to get a lot of people.
Oh, I know. It's gonna at least teach people how to do it once, and then even if they stop and never do it again, they'll know how to do it. It
They'll never
teaches you
pull
the
their
proper
back.
form. I know that most people know how to go do a bench press, but like they really like they show you all sorts of postural. It's good and it's fun.
What about the curved back when you're doing the bench press though? I feel like a lot of people don't get that. They
Yeah,
don't remember to arch their back so that there's a little bridge underneath that spine area. Otherwise, they're gonna wind up
yeah,
with an injury. Or like,
yeah.
oh man, the squats thing, like they just reminded me of form shit. I'm not even doing those exercises. I do more like yoga shit, but
Well,
man,
let's be honest. The demographic for this show may or may not. I'd say half of them have never been inside a real gym. Like they might have done like go running or something, but
yeah,
like as far as actually being in a real gym, it's gonna help people not get hurt, and
yeah,
it's fun. And I like sports anime anyway, so I'm in.
I'm totally
And I
in.
like muscle dudes, so it hits all
Yes,
the things for me.
so do they.
Yeah, yeah.
So watch that one
Um,
for sure. I should have played the trailer the whole time we were talking about it. I forgot
no,
because I
that one's
actually
really
enjoyed
good,
it.
man. I really love Muscle Bro. I'm in.
Muscle, we
Um,
didn't even talk about him, but he's obviously amazing. Like,
it's so funny.
just that tiny ass jogging suit at first.
Yeah, and then he just can just like break out his massive muscles at any point that he wants. It's so bad.
Uh, it's good. Yeah, definitely watch it. Like, watch that, y'all.
Yeah. Um, Solo. What's next on the list? Isekai Cheat Magician. This one was pretty whack, I gotta say. It's another one where I think it's popular, but it's got a low score, so it must have been like looked forward to. But the animation's really bad, first off,
Mm.
and then second off, it's just a really whack isekai. Like it's just another one, dude. They pump out like 5 of these a season now, where this time the game is for real, where they just pull someone from the real world into the adventure world, and then they give them like, and it's another one where they come in and they're just mad overpowered from the start. So this one was just like a guy and a girl are in the normal world, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden he sees like a little like swirly thing under his feet, like he's a playable character,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and he just gets pulled, and him and that girl get pulled into the other world, and then they immediately get rescued by someone, and then that person takes them into the town, and they get their magic measured, and they like break the magic testing thing because they have so much inherent magic, and now they're like helping some magic person that's going to teach them. It was whack. I like. There's no reason to keep watching this, and it looked bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just
And
abusing the subgenre, I think, because going forward they can continue to pick any type of video game and throw more people in it. You know, like I just watched the Wreck-It Ralph joint. I watched the second Wreck-It Ralph. I didn't finish it, unfortunately.
I've never seen those.
First Wreck-It Ralph was really good. Like I loved the they just really played homage to video games really well, and it was just on point. Like I enjoyed seeing Sonic, the real Sonic, not the bullshit one that's probably going to come out in a few months, but like the real Sonic was in there, and Robotnik was in there, and Zangief was in there, and it was funny. Like those characters are hilarious. They don't need to be changed. They need to just be themselves together, and they held true. And I feel like that's doing it right because it's tasteful. They like bring more of it. They bring more of it to the table, and then these ones they're just gonna keep picking from video game genres, bro.
Tasteful Zangief and tasteful Sonic.
Yeah, that's tasteful. Like tasteful
Yeah.
humor related to them, anyways.
No, I know. But I can't recommend Isekai Cheat Magician.
Well, I'm
Um,
not sold.
Lord El Malloy Two's Case Files Rail Zeppelin Grace Note. That just seems like words that don't go together. It's like 8 words, but I didn't watch this one because I think it's inside of, I want to say, the Fate Stay group or something. It's in the Fate Zero, not Type Zero. It's in the Fate, it's in the Fate Zero universe. So I've never really started that universe, so I don't really want to jump in with a side story.
Yeah.
So we'll just move past that one.
Moving on.
My Now the winner for me for this year of the best name of a show that got me most excited is this next one called "Do You Love Your Mom?" and her two-hit multi-target attacks. Here's the problem. It's another isekai where they get dragged into the video game world, and he gets dragged in with his mom. He basically fills out a survey that comes in the mail that's like about his relationship with his mom, and it's just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm indifferent. She's all right. Like, don't dislike her. Not crazy about her. Don't care. Like that kind of thing. Not in like a mean way, but just like an angsty teenager.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. He's gonna bang her. I see where this is going, and he's gonna bang his mom. And so that's what it is. The show is basically he gets pulled in with his mom, and immediately they get to pick weapons. They choose from three. There's two of them. He grabs the one in the middle, and she's like, "Ah, well, I'll just take both of them, both the other ones." And they're like, "You can do that," and apparently she can. So she's got two overpowered swords. That's her two-hit multi-target attacks. And he took the one in the middle, which ends up being the shitty one, of course. So basically, he's just like walking around while his mom just slays ass around him. And
Oof.
it was all good, but then they kept showing like, like you could just see it coming because like they kept showing a little bit too much cleavage on mom and just stuff like that. And then like eventually you're just like, well, all right. And then the preview for the next episode, I think, was like it was like a 5-second preview, but all I saw was just mom naked and like covering her breasts, the and she was saying like, you can't just strip me of my clothes in front of my son. And then it was like, all right, on to the next episode. So
Wow.
yeah, so if you do watch this one, it was funny. It might get better. He's gonna bang his mom. That is gonna happen. So just be prepared for that,
Yeah.
and yeah, maybe watch it last in your rotation because it's kind of lighthearted, and then afterwards you'll probably want to like masturbate and take a nap. So
And take a nap.
you got enough to fall asleep after you jerk off
Right.
about the your mom or whatever. So moving on. You didn't see that one, right?
No? Nope.
You know what? Actually, not moving on. What are your thoughts on this? Where are we going with anime? What's happening?
Um,
Must all our moms and sisters get banged?
this isn't just an anime topic,
No.
you
No, this
know.
is something I cover with my therapist quite frequently. But for the purpose of just animeism, what do you think about it in anime?
I mean, I don't need it, but I've always known about the dark side of anime. Um, like I'm not trying to like make anybody feel a certain type of way if that's their thing and it's not my thing. So there's a heavy amount of just looking the other way when I feel like I'm uncomfortable with anime subtopics like that. And if I have the option and I watch the shit, I won't. That's not really my thing. So
It might be funny though, and we'll see if it's. I'm gonna watch the next couple episodes.
yeah.
But if it just turns into just awkward sexual tension between the son and the mom, then yeah, I'll keep watching it.
I'll just let you tell me if I'm supposed to, in regards to like if I'm gonna absorb anything of value from like an art director standpoint or anything like that. If it's actually good, then sure. But you've led with this whole mom tension sex thing, and now I'm leading with I don't think so, not interested, probably not. I'm not saying that we can't change that.
Mom tension sex thing. Yeah, this is one of those things where I'll watch it and then I'll work it out with Lisa Ann afterwards. Then we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so the next one that I actually do want you to watch at some point is called Astra Lost in Space.
Sweet.
This is exactly the type of thing that I like. The first episode. What's up, Kai Kai?
That wasn't kind of, that was my Sonic skateboard just mysteriously slipping off of the wall. Whew, that was creepy. Got my heart rate going a little bit.
Well, thank God we survived that so far.
Right, we're good.
The Astra Lost in Space. The first episode was a double episode, so it's like a 40-minute boy, but it actually needed to be 40 minutes because they needed that much time to set up the story. It actually might not have been as effective to just show me half of it and then show me the next half the next week. It was pretty cool. It's the kind of thing I like. It's like space exploration, adventure. It's the year 2061, and at that point, like high school kids can go on field trips to space, and so they're doing like a camping thing, where they're just like I think it's like 9 of them are dropped off on like some barren, empty planet, and they just got to camp for 5 days.
I started watching this one. I feel like I didn't make it all the way through, but now everything you just said, I saw.
It was good though. Again, I don't want to like get too much into the ones that you haven't seen that much, or other than just telling you what my thoughts are on them, because I don't want this to be all my voice. But
Yeah.
basically, I mean, it was pretty fun though. I mean, like, so they're on this barren, empty planet, and they're supposed to just have like a nice field trip where they, like a team building exercise, basically. And all of a sudden, this black void of like this, of just I don't even know. It's just like this a black hole that's expanding.
Yeah.
Just comes after them, and they all start running from it, and it sucks them all in and just places them like randomly back out into space near their spaceship. And so they're just like floating in space, and they got the boosters on their shoes, so they got to get back. They got to
They
get
had to
back.
save homegirl. There was one girl that was like out stranded or some shit.
Yeah, the main character was not doing too hot, but so you get everyone back on the ship, and they're like, we don't have the supplies. Apparently, we're not anywhere near the planet we were just on. Like, this is saying that we're like, like, I don't know the actual amount, but it was like 50 million light years from Earth or something like that.
Yeah.
So they were like, we only have enough food and gas to get like we have like 20 days worth or something like that, and this is like an 80-day trip or something. What they had to plot a course where like they can go from they found like one of the dudes is like a genius, of course, and he plotted a course that takes them to planets with supplies, not necessarily like other humans, but like places where we know that they can gather. Basically, they have to make it to a planet and then just hope they can scavenge enough food and gas and stuff to get to like the next planet.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool because they're just exploring these empty planets. The first planet they went to had all these like random plants and animals and things, and it's just a way for them to show off a bunch of random worlds, kind of.
And this one's on.
So I enjoyed it. We did find out at the end of the most recent episode that the genius believes that someone damaged the ship on purpose, and so now we are led to believe that one of our 9 students is working against the rest of the team, and so we have to find out who the bad guy is amongst them. So that was a nice little wrinkle that got thrown in, but it was fun. It was cool. You
Yeah,
didn't make it through?
I think it started coming to me while we were talking. I feel like I started watching this one couple of, I don't know, a week ago at least. Seems like it's been a little while. I saw Homegirl get saved. I saw like a decent amount of that, but if it was 40 minutes, I may or may not have made it all the way to the end of it.
I think it's on Hulu and Funimation.
Yeah, I
So,
saw it on Hulu, so I'm a Hulu guy.
okay. So with my Spotify account, they were like, "Hey, congratulations, you got Hulu now." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I went to Hulu and started watching something, and there's like 3 minutes of commercials every 6 minutes. It's not. I don't have Hulu. I have the normal free Hulu with ads. They're just lying to me.
Yeah, it depends. Certain shows like still have ads, and they don't
It
even
was all
care.
of them though. Like, cause I know
Oh,
about the different tiers of Hulu, and
yeah,
like the free version, you can watch stuff, but I think I just have access to the library now, but man, I couldn't do it. There's like literally as many commercials as TV, and I just
yeah.
I won't have it. I won't stand for it.
I hate that shit.
But
Wow,
I think
wow.
you should pick that one back up and
Yeah, I
try to
will.
make
I
it
will.
through.
I liked it. There was nothing bad about it at all. It was good stuff. Good setup.
Certain Scientific Accelerator, that's another like massive franchise that it's a side story of that I haven't watched. A Certain Scientific Railgun or whatever the other ones are, so didn't do that one. We got this one that has a season two. It's what is it? Karakai Jozu no Takagi-san 2.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw the part of the first season of this one a few years ago and deaded it.
Oh, you
Gave
gave
it the
up.
buh. Yeah, so I think I'm out on that one.
I don't like the
Just
character design.
yeah, it was just like a slice of life romance, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was not. It wasn't what we wanted. This is one I had to cancel for myself personally. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord. I don't I my fantasy is not taking care of a useless 5-year-old girl. Like apparently that is a fantasy that many people have, but it's just that like basically there's a magic dude and he goes in the forest and he finds this crying demon girl that doesn't speak the same language as him. She speaks the demon language, and then he finds her dad who's super dead, and her demon dad is dead, and so he's got to adopt this demon girl, and he hides her little horns behind like pigtails, and he's just taking care of her, man. I watched 2 episodes, and the second episode she got lost, and then they found her.
Yeah, that
It
shit's
wasn't
lame, dude. It's
it
lame
wasn't
for
a lot.
like guys and girls. You know, like what story? Who wants that story
There
now?
was a lot of tension. There was not a lot of tension. There was a lot of little girl saying things with a speech impediment that everyone was like, "Oh," and then that it was about 40 minutes of that. So I had to let it go, folks. I couldn't do it. I did watch 2 episodes. I gave it an honest shot.
You said John, eh?
Um, yeah, I said goodbye. Um, Oh, Maidens in Your Savage Season. This one was kind of funny. Um, I don't think that it's gonna be great, but it had a couple moments that made me laugh.
You talking
I'm
about this
trying.
one? Otome Domo Yo thing?
Oh, do you have the settings on
Uh
I'm not
oh.
actually watching our stream. I have it set to the English. Yeah.
I wish I did have it set to the English because I've just
I
been
just
serving up
just
Japanese.
go to that little settings boy at the top.
Hello,
It's
signs.
pretty fast. And
English.
then just click English, and then
And
you're good.
back home.
No, don't log in. Just get the hell out of there somehow. There's not really like a good back button,
Yeah.
but yeah. All
Do you
right,
love
so
your
yeah,
mom
so
and her
then
treatment?
now we should be rocking with the English things.
Thank you for that. Demon Lord, O Maidens in Your Savage Season. Here it is.
Yeah. Um. So anyway, this one was. I mean, okay, basically, this was the one I sent you the screenshot of the dude just obviously getting caught jerking off, just
Yeah.
like his pants fully around his ankles. And one of the reasons that I like this one, and there's actually another one in the season, it feels like, I mean, I don't think that I'm not saying that they're like repressed overall. It's hard to say, but like in anime, there's been this whole thing the whole time we've been watching anime where it's like, why won't he just where like there'll be a show where like a guy, like a high school guy, and there's like seven girls like harem style throwing themselves at him, and he just gets nervous and red faced and runs away.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's
a lot
like,
of that.
maybe touch one of them, just to see how it is, just live your life. So
Yeah.
so I like this show just because it was basically like a realistic, less repressed. They have these five girls in the picture. They have a literature club, but they really just read a lot of like sexy stories, not like hentai, but like just like like a mom would read like a romance novel or something.
Yeah.
They're reading those, and the one they're basically it's like them coming to terms with like, do how will they lose their virginities, like do they want to have sex, but it's like very open about all of that stuff. And it's the girl likes her neighbor and she walks in on him, and it's pretty funny. He's just jerking off with they got the porn like playing in the background, and like you could just tell while she was walking up the stairs that she was about to walk in on this dude with his pants around his ankles.
Yeah.
And he just looked back at her like, oh no. Like his pants full around the ankles. He's like up in his chair, like with his like feet up. It's really
Really, really working it out.
there. Yeah, so I just it was funny.
Seems like it's got
At
good
one
humor.
point, one of the girls starts screaming at this guy that's bothering her that she can only do it if she's with like three guys at once, and that she's got a bunch of STDs, and just starts yelling their crotch itches. And it's funny. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't
Sex
recommend it
humor.
personally for you just because I know your genres, but
Yeah.
the anime community as a whole, I think that it will be a welcome break from the nervous. I mean, there's definitely a lot of nervous sexual energy in this one, but like they actually speak out loud about it instead of just being scared and running away. They're
For sure.
confronting it and trying to learn about it.
For sure.
And so far, no incest. So lack of incest thus far. One episode in, we'll see.
Is that how we're ranking them?
I don't know if we're gonna lose too many if we get rid of the we can't. Let's just wean our way off of it.
Let's just not worry about that.
What's the next one? Hensuki, are you willing to fall in love with a pervert as long as she's a cutie? I don't know about this one. It was it's what you think it is. It's a picture of a guy with six girls surrounding him. It's just like a harem thing. The story was basically Cinderella, but instead of leaving a slipper, she left some panties and a love note. And there's like four girls in a club with him, and he's trying to figure out which girl left him the note that's about wanting to be with him. And one of the girls is his sister, so it's definitely gonna I want to watch this one last so you can masturbate, nap, or whatever, but it's put it on a separate day of the mother one.
Damn, dude.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I don't even know what you could say back to me about it. It's Cinderella, but with panties.
The next one's called Akira Ono. That's a good response, I thought.
Are you talking about Demon Lord Retry?
Yeah, the story centers
Yeah.
around Akira Ono. Yeah, my bad. That's probably this dude in the middle.
Yeah. That's another wacky isekai. They're everywhere, man. It's the exact same plot as Mrs. Doubtfire.
No,
He not Mrs. Doubtfire, but you know what I mean.
I do.
You do. It's it was the exact same plot as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
It's another one where a guy made a video game. The Demon Lord is the man in the video game. He's like, all right, I'm going to be done with this video game. It's the same plot as Overlord. It's actually the same thing as Overlord. Like, the guy makes the game. He gets sucked into the game when he's going to delete the game. And he comes in and he's like, oh, no, I'm the Demon Lord character that I created and I'm super strong. And again, Like it's going to be a harem. You can already tell it's going to be a harem. He's just accumulating small girls in cute dresses, and I cannot recommend this one. But I guess I'll give it another shot with another episode. But just because the isekai ones could go any direction, but man,
Yeah.
it's definitely just a little girl harem thing.
Sweet.
And moving on. Um,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter to the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. This one has an okay premise, but execution's not great. There's a civil war between the North and the South. The North has money, but the South has manpower. The South is going to win, but then the North starts experimenting on humans and making these sacred beasts or whatever, these beast people, and they just crush ass, and they can like these beast men go into the South and just destroy hundreds of people by themselves. So the North wins the war because of the experimental beast people. But then they abandon the beast people after the war because they all start to lose their minds and become they can't control it anymore. So they're all good guys and gals, except they lose their minds. Except for the main guy, you can see the guy in the white coat in the picture.
Yeah.
He's like the captain. So basically, after the war, he's going around and killing all of his old comrades, like one at a time, because he just goes from town to town where his beast friends have lost their consciousness, and he has to take them out. It's actually not that bad,
It's a good little
but
setup.
yeah, it's a good setup. But it's such a strong season that I don't know if I there's like 10 more that I would watch.
Yeah, it is a really strong season for. At least it was at the beginning here.
I did think it was funny that the Beast Men had like a the guy that was in charge of their division was a son of a wealthy man, and they thought he was a good guy, but then that guy turned on them like at the last second, kind of thing. Like, um, his name was Kane Madhouse, and it's just like, who could have predicted that the guy named Kane Madhouse would give into power and greed, and like so
Good name.
Kane Madhouse ended up being a bad guy. It just who could have seen that coming? We're getting to the nitty gritty down here.
Or another light
Yeah,
novel.
yeah. Okay, Copcraft. Copcraft. I'll watch the next episode of this. It's it's kind of like Men in Black mixed with something worse than Men in Black. It was there's aliens now, and there's alien crimes going on, which the Earth detectives are struggling to deal with because the aliens are just operate with a different language and they have different powers. They're a little stronger. They blend in with the humans, kind of like Men in Black.
Yeah.
So you can see in the photo this dude with the gun. His partner gets killed like at the beginning of the first episode in a sting operation gone bad. They were selling ferries on the black market,
Okay.
and so they tried to buy a ferry, and it went bad, and turned out they were buying it from aliens, and the alien killed his partner. And then this girl with the sword, she is the rightful owner of the ferry, so now she's got to team up with the cop.
Okay.
And it wasn't bad. I mean, the first episode was okay.
I was expecting much worse, but what
The
you just said
animation's
sounds
not
good.
great, but at least it's a story that's not the exact same plot as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. Just stay away from Mrs. Doubtfire's plot if you can, or anybody else's plot, for that matter.
We're we're coming into the home stretch here. I like this one. The Ones Within.
This one was sick.
It's not so I thought you might relate to this one too because it was about YouTube streamers or like online video
This
streamers.
is literally the first Twitch anime, guys. Everybody,
Yeah,
this is it.
Twitch anime. Yeah, so it was cool. It was kind of like Assassination Classroom mixed with Danganronpa.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me. It's basically like right at the beginning. I think I've started all of these with "it's basically." So it's basically
That's the name of the show.
It's basically with Captain Al, and the Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. Which Paul Rudd's going to be in the new Ghostbusters, by the way. I saw him post a little
The
clip on that
new Ghostbusters.
with Paul Rudd.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey,
How you doing?
we got 10 minutes left, Crystal.
Fried blueberries.
Blueberries.
All right, let's get it.
All right. So the ones within was pretty cool though. It's they brought like 8 like video game streamers, like famous celebrity online streamers to like an island or something. We're not really sure, and they have to get. They're basically like being held there against their will, and each one of them has a particular set of skills. That like I think the main character is like good at escape games, and then the other girl was good at horror games. One of them was good at like samurai games, and then there was a puzzle person, and like all the different types of games. And they're gonna have to solve puzzles and riddles
Puzzles and riddles.
Puddles and rizzles.
Puddles and rizzles.
No, they're gonna have to solve puddles and rizzles about just whatever. I think in the first they played with a Ouija board in the first one, but
Yeah.
they all have like these tattoos on their arms that are like fake, but they're like digital tattoos that tell them how many like total streams they've gotten, and they're not allowed to leave until that number hits 100 million. So I thought that one was cool. You saw that one. What did you think of it?
Man, there was a couple of really cool things because I was coming fresh out of watching Vinland Saga, and then I watched that one, and I kind of wish that I had like a gradient to prepare me for that show because I was coming out of a real somber mood out of Vinland Saga. I just was feeling a little weird. I was feeling real weird and Game of Thronesy, like whatever. And then this thing came on, and then within like 30 seconds, there was like a mountain-sized panda bear on the screen.
Yeah.
And I just had to like adjust my reality real quick. I was like, okay, all right, so we're here now. We're good.
Yeah. Much bigger than Pingy, who is the Easter egg in my video.
Yeah,
but,
if you can people, he's over there next to the A. But yeah, no, I don't know, dude. It's definitely funny. It's pretty captivating. I'm interested in the whole streamer element of it. Like I didn't foresee this happening so quickly. Like just the idea of just having a whole bunch of just gamer. I guess it's a cousin of the whole thing that's been happening with people being like sucked into a virtual reality video game. It's now we're just leaving you in the real world, except you play video games all day, and that's why you are who you are in this anime. Now,
you know what else it was like? Did you ever see Batum, the old one?
Yeah, I love Batum.
Yeah, they desperately need to make a second season of that one, even though they won't because it's been like 8 years. But Batum was awesome. That's kind of very similar.
Yeah, you just kind of you get to know the rules and go. Like that's pretty cool. Like that's why Danganronpa is so cool and like time.
And obviously, Danganronpa, the connection there is we're holding you hostage, but also the main bad guy, the dude that's keeping them there with the sheep head.
Yeah, the rabbit llama man.
Yeah, it's probably a llama. You're right.
Alpaca llama man, rabbit.
I like the llama man.
We'll call him llama man. Hashtag llama man.
Hashtag llama man. I'm gonna burn through these last ones. Wasteful Days of High School Girls. This one actually started off really funny because their teacher comes in and delivers a very stern speech about because it's an all-girls high school, and he's like a recent college graduate, and he comes in and is just like, look, I can't stop you guys from falling in love with me, but I will not be touching any high school girls. I am not interested in high school girls. And at first he seems like very strict on it, but you can tell as this speech goes on that he is extremely into high school girls, and he's trying to talk himself out of it. But it was honestly very legitimately funny, where it was just like, for whatever reason, the law dictates that we cannot be in love.
We can't fall hopelessly in love together.
It's like in Japan, unless you are 16 years of age and with consent of a parent, and like it just keeps going in, and that was very funny. So I had high hopes of it at first, but I think that Wasteful Days of High School Girls if I allow it to, will turn into wasteful nights of full-grown man.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'm going to keep up with that one because the second episode wasn't as funny, but that speech is actually worth watching for anyone. So I think that everyone should watch the first 10 minutes of that episode
Confirmed.
and move on from there.
All right. I can do that
Let me
at
see
least.
if I had anything else to say on that one because that one actually did make me crack up in a few different ways. But no, I think that's about it. Grand Belm is magic girls fighting in magic robots.
Hey.
Moving along. um, given given the art is good and it
Okay.
starts off with a guy like having a broken guitar string that he doesn't know how to fix, and this other guitarist comes in and shows him how to fix it, and
This is like music
it
realism. This is like the musician's anime.
yeah, and the basically the guy who fixes the guitar is really awesome at guitar, and then they actually play a song and it was good. Like they played a song and it was like heavy, it was like kind of like post-hardcore and it was pretty good. Um I do regret to inform you that these guys are about to start banging each
I
other,
know. I know. I haven't seen any women yet, so they're definitely gonna bang.
which I just want everyone to know that I'm down. I want them to just bang to their heart's content.
If that's
But
what they want.
if that's yeah, I hope that they do it over and over from every angle and every position. But I just it's
Oh shit!
I'm
With
probably
the official martial, what's the thing called? I'm not a guitarist. Amp. They had like an
gonna
actual branded
Well, they had like
Marshall
the
amp.
Gibson. He had like very specific Gibson equipment. Like they said like exactly what it was. It was the musician anime, and they're gonna kiss each other's neck and
Their guitar
slowly.
necks.
Yeah,
Come on, dude.
no, it's fine. It's good. So
Come on, man.
it's good. I like it.
No, I mean straight up that it seems like it's going to be very, very respectful
The
of
music was
music.
really good,
Yeah.
and it's funny because one of the things that I was wondering about is like how does that translate from the manga? Like, because obviously the manga is far ahead. I think it started in like 2013. So like, how do you know what the band sounds like when you're just reading the comic book? Do you
That's
just have to get lucky? Like, because what if you love this manga and you've been reading it for 6 years, and then you watch it and you're like, this music sucks.
this
Like,
music
you
is
just what if it's
awful.
not your style? Yeah.
I imagined much better music. I'm turning it off.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Radiohead. But yeah, so it was like it was good. It was actually like really good music and well drawn. I don't know if I'm gonna get through it, but it's actually a pretty good show, and it does seem like if you're a musician that they were using very specific equipment and talking about that kind of stuff, and it's probably pretty relatable from that end.
You think Scott would like it?
Yeah, up to a certain point, yeah.
Yeah, just to right up until the neck thing.
Yeah, the
All
guitar
right,
neck.
the guitar necks.
Bem it hasn't started yet. The first episode comes out tomorrow, so I don't have much to say about Bem. I read the description and it basically said that there's a good part of town and then some outskirts where the crime happens, and we are going to be watching some some demon humans that are detectives that are trying to take care of the crime in the outskirts. So I will watch an episode of it, but it's pretty low on the Annie chart list. So it's an original, but that might just be because it's not based on anything. It's like an original anime. There's no source manga or anything. So we'll see.
Yeah,
That could go either way.
true that.
I actually recommended this one to you, The Demon Girl Next Door. This one's gonna crack you up. Like this one's funny. This girl wakes up and she's got a tail and horns, and she's like, "Why?" And she goes to her mom, and her mom's like, "Check it out. We are from the Dark Clan. We're not real humans. Unfortunately, the Light Clan that lives in the same city as us, they defeated us many generations ago and suppressed our powers. But you have been born with the tail and the horns, so you probably have your powers back. So what we're gonna need you to do is to break the curse, and you have to go. It's like a comedy, but it's like, and this is like a 12-year-old girl, and the mom's like a normal mom, and she's like, We're gonna need you to go. You have to, unfortunately, you have to find a magical girl and murder her because you have to murder someone from the Light Clan to lift the curse.
Yeah.
And she's like, but we're the Dark Clan. Does that make us the bad guys? And she's like, well, mom kind of like doesn't answer that question. She's like, but if you kill a magical girl and lift the curse, which by the way is called the $400 a month curse, which made me laugh really hard. I don't know if that means that they're restricted to earning 400 a month or if they have to pay the other clan 400 a month, but the Light Clan put a curse on them that made them poor as fuck. And so they need to lift the curse. She was like, unfortunately, in modern Japan, if we give you a real weapon, you're just going to get arrested. So here's a fork, and you have to go murder another 12-year-old girl. This girl just video game style. They even create a little avatar for her when she walks out the door, and they make it look like Pokemon or like an RPG, like a 2D RPG.
Yeah.
And she has to go through town and find another 12-year-old girl to murder. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
With a fork. She's got to stab. Her mom has told her she has to stab a 12-year-old to death with a fork so that they can afford an all-you-can-eat buffet.
It's crazy how people get away with pitching these things. So, like, I'm gonna just go ahead and just let me greenlight this project. Just let me just hear me out. 12-year-old girl with fork.
It was funny though. Like, is when she was like, "What do you want your demon slayer name to be, or whatever?" He's like, "What do you want your magical girl name to be?" I'm gonna fax it over.
Yeah.
And they used a fax machine. It was funny. It was funny.
I'm into it.
I think I skipped most of the remaining ones. Didn't do Sympho Gear. That's like the 5th season. That one's not for me.
No, that's not the
Didn't
first
do
one.
Ensemble Stars. That is an idol one, so moved on from that. Kochoki is a hot Nobunaga thing, which was funny that we were both separately talking about Nobunaga to other people the other day.
Yeah, we were just having a Nobunaga moment.
Yeah.
I don't have any good word. I don't have it. Whatever, bro. Just like don't. It's
Naba,
don't. Naba gonna work here anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Not gonna work here anymore, so it really doesn't matter. So that one was. I mean, it's always weird. He's a super violent tactician in real life, and the anime depicts him as like a hot, benevolent guy. Anyway, Tri Nights hasn't started yet. That's going to be about rugby though, so I'll probably check that one out. But that starts in like 3 weeks.
Sweet.
But I like the sports one, so whatever.
Yeah, no trailer either though. Damn, that's like the first one.
Yeah. Restage Dream Days didn't make it too far into this one. That's another idol one.
Had a gnat.
Yep. Starmie 3 is an
It's
idol
a
one.
Pokemon almost.
Didn't do whatever this last one is. This Where Show, Warera, etc. and so forth. I will talk to you about 2 of the short ones real quick.
Okay.
The top 2 short ones are kind of funny. Magical Senpai is funny because it's just a super nervous girl that is absolutely terrible at magic trying to do magic. And she's so nervous that she vomits, and she's so awful at magic. And that's basically the story of Magical Senpai. A lot of panty shots. This is another one where you're definitely going to want to put this at the end of your playlist so that you can masturbate at the end and then take a nap.
Take a nap or go to sleep for the rest of the night.
Yeah, my main concern with this one is I don't want to get spoilers on Rule 34. So I'm going to try to avoid Rule 34 on this one as long as I can, but so I don't want spoilers. But she's just really bad at magic, and at some point a bird bites her and then like feels her up. And
nice.
May have penetrated her. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. So that was cool. And these at one point, she so the bird bit her and felt her up, and that was cool. And then at one point, she spilled milk like all over herself, and it looked like cum, and that was cool too. So there's Are You Lost is the next one. Are You Lost is funny. This is the short one that I told you that you should watch. It's only 10 minutes long. These girls, the answer is yes, they're extremely lost, and they basically wash up on like a deserted island, and there's 4 of them, and one of them knows how to survive because she used to do all these like survival type like camping things with her dad. So she knows everything. She knows like what part of the bug to eat, what plants are safe, how to make shelter. She's like the ultimate survivor. And the other three girls are just totally useless. And so she's just keeping everyone alive. The first panty shot is like 15 seconds in, so you're all set right from there. And at one point, she electrocutes a shark. There were moose testicles, and oh, and the girls at one point like were like peeing on each other because they were like drinking it.
Did they? Oh,
So that wraps up the summer anime 2019 preview, and then we're still watching JoJo. We're waiting for the end of that. One Piece is finally into the new arc. That looked very exciting. You desperately need to see the newest episode of One Piece because the whole squad's back. The team is back.
finally.
We're all back together in one spot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I took a break off of that one just because I'm not interested in the recap episode. I'm probably 4 back or something.
I mean, they at least in their filler, there's like 10 minutes of recap, and it's episodes from 10 years ago, so it's not as bad as like Naruto.
Yeah.
I gotta get caught up on Demon Slayer. I'm still not really up to date on that one. That one's good though.
That was my favorite one.
That one's good.
That's probably my favorite one. Like it's got the perfect balance of drama and action. The art is it steps up when they do their powers. So I love to know that like it goes from like a really awesome art style to just like a next level animation style when they get to fighting. It's good. You're gonna like it when you do get to it.
Yeah, I saw the first episode, but that's it. I gotta move forward. I just saw his sister go crazy or whatever.
Yeah, she's dope. She's dope. So, yeah.
Other than that, I think we've about wrapped it up. So, if anyone in the universe has actually made it to this point in the video, I thank you from the bottom of the ocean with my captain's hat.
Hey, and, Kylie Chris, shout out. She's in the chat right now.
Yep. So we're hoping this was obviously a longer episode because there was just so much to cover and it was such an exciting season.
Yeah.
There's honestly, I know that I trashed on a lot of them, but I just like to make jokes. I probably will. There's definitely like 8 or to 10 that I'm gonna watch the whole way through, and there's about 10 more that I'm gonna give a shot. We'll see what like.
I can respect that. You're a true connoisseur of it. I have to be picky.
It's a really good season. I like that. I like, and I'm not really the type of person that likes to house things. Like, I don't really watch 10 episodes of something at once. I have ADD. I actually like just give me 5 different shows that are all 20 minutes long. I'll take that over like watching 10 episodes of JoJo in a row. So, yeah, man, it's a really good season. And what we're hoping to do moving forward is to do shorter videos that are just like episode reactions so that we can get a little bit more specific. This was us just trying to sort of tell you what you should and shouldn't watch, or try to get you excited or see what you want to do. So
that's right.
Yeah, so thank you again, Anthony. Any closing notes?
Yeah, Animeism is now on Twitch. This is what like you said, like our 15th reboot. We've been a website, you guys. I know this doesn't matter to anybody, but we've been around since like 2003. Basically.
We were getting legit. We used to get the press passes into all the anime conventions before the whole scene blew up. Because when we were like one of like 20 websites on the internet, and we would actually we used to go to ASEN. You guys might have Animeism bags if you've been to ASEN. We passed out a bunch of shit at ASEN over the years, stickers and bags and all sorts of stuff. So. We're back.
15 years celebration here. Like, it wasn't 15 attempts. It was literally 15 years.
Oh, I know. And it's longer than that if you go back to Planet O, Vegeta, and Saiyan's Lair and some of the stuff we were making in middle school. So we've been a part of this community for like 20 years. We're going to try to get our faces more out there and just bring a more kind of relaxed and funnier atmosphere to the anime. Because, there's people that I love online, like in particular, like Mother's Basement, Glass Reflection, Giga, some of those guys. And some of them are very self-serious. Not those guys, but like a lot of the other people in the community are like very self-serious and stuff like that. And we're going to try to do the opposite of that. We're just going to enjoy the shows. miserable and mean to each other. So we're going to bring the positive atmosphere moving forward. And thank you again.
Right on. Good shit, Al. Peace out.